Hi, my name is Timby, and my project was about privacy issues within the cloud. In this diagram, you see basically what cloud computing is all about. You have a mobile device, a PC device, and they all connect to one cloud. You have a database, and just everything connects to this one cloud. So what is the cloud, and what are cloud computing services all about? It's a type of internet-based computing, and the data and various services are delivered to the devices on the cloud through the internet. So it relies heavily on the internet, and the whole thing works through the internet, and it relies on sharing computer resources. And cloud computing also allows users to back up images, documents, and any other files that they feel are important. So for example, if somebody wants to have a file on their phone and they already have it on their computer, they can use cloud computing services for that. And there are various different kinds of cloud computing companies such as Workday, NetSuite, ServiceNow, Concur Technologies, and more. So who uses the cloud? More than half of U.S. businesses use cloud computing as a way of file sharing and sharing software, and many schools use cloud computing to share software as well. I recently came across an article stating that about 95% of school districts around the country rely on cloud services for many different things and many different functions regarding students' information. And there is a large population of people who use cloud computing services for personal use. So for example, all iPhone users have iCloud programmed onto their phone, which allows them to easily transfer their photos and music on their phones to their computers. So there are three main different types of cloud computing, and that's SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS. And SaaS is software as a service, PaaS is platform as a service, and IaaS is infrastructure as a service. So SaaS is software that's utilized over the internet, and the software is managed from a central location, so it kind of has a one-to-many model. And this allows people to access certain software online, and it's becoming a much more popular way of sharing technology. So PaaS. So PaaS is kind of similar to SaaS, except PaaS deals with the creation of software rather than sharing software online. And PaaS provides a platform for the creation of software online. So it gives the user tools to create software, and it also has built-in scalability. So infrastructure as a service, which is IaaS, provides cloud computing infrastructure as an on-demand service. So it allows servers and networks and things like that, and the resources are shared. The cost for the service also varies depending on the kind of infrastructure that the person's using. So the problem with cloud computing, there are blurred lines with the privacy of cloud computing just because it is relatively new and the privacy rules are still being made for it, and there are really no laws protecting the data in the cloud like the laws protecting the data in your computer or the data on paper. Data mining has also become very popular for schools that use the cloud, and there are no laws protecting the students' information or their privacy with the data that's in the school's cloud that they use. When asked, the number one reason for why businesses didn't use cloud computing was that they were concerned about the security and privacy of the data that they would be putting into the cloud. So who does this problem affect? Companies who use the cloud would be affected, employees who use cloud computing services every day at work, people who use it for personal use, such as iPhone users with iCloud, and companies providing this cloud computing software, as well as lawmakers and security agencies, just because there is such a lack of with laws and privacy in the cloud. So some short-term consequences may be that people may feel uneasy and uncomfortable using cloud services, and that may lead to them not using it as much. And also people may become more aware of what data is being stored on the cloud, and that might lead to them saving things elsewhere other than on the cloud. This also may lead to the sales of cloud computing services decreasing. Some long-term consequences may be that people may begin to stop using cloud services altogether and may gravitate towards another sort of file sharing service, and that will lead to the prices of cloud services decreasing if fewer and fewer people are using it. In addition, there may be an accumulation of sensitive data in the cloud that could be accessible to many different people, such as bank information and other types of personal information, and this may lead to hacking becoming a huge threat to people who use the cloud and cloud computing services, as there would be a lot of data that would be useful to hackers in the cloud. So some solutions would be for people to become more aware of the kind of data that they're storing into the cloud. People should avoid storing extremely important files in the cloud because many different people can see the information that they're storing, and there should be a push for stronger laws surrounding the cloud. Companies that create cloud computing services should also advance the security that they have for the cloud that they create, as the information isn't really private to people that use it, and people can also find other methods of file sharing to transfer sensitive information that isn't as public.